mums and dads. We are still here, but hope you guys have had a wonderful week so far, and hope that last Sunday went really well with your children. This Sunday we're going to be looking at Psalm 23, so it'd be great if you guys could just read that for yourselves before you teach it to your kids on Sunday. And as you read through Psalm 23, I want you just to note how God is described in this psalm and what he does for his people. This psalm is written by David, who, as we know, was a shepherd boy who had been made king over Israel. He was chosen by God to shepherd God's people. And yet, here David writes that he himself is led like a sheep by an even greater shepherd, and he feasts at his table. So in verse 1, David understood that with God as his shepherd, he would lack nothing. God provides rest and sustenance for all of those who follow him. In verse 2 to 4, God not only provides all that is physically necessary to sustain his people, but also spiritually as he refreshes and guides them in the right way to live. Sometimes this righteous path may lead through trials and danger, but even there, we do not need to fear, because our shepherd is always with us. He leads us and he comforts us. In verse 5, the metaphor changes here. David is no longer a sheep, but he is a guest at a lavish feast. God is the host who provides the food and the drink in abundance, and he generously welcomes David, using oil to anoint him publicly so that even his enemies can see that he is the Lord's honored guest. In verse 6, to live in the house of the Lord is to be with him forever. There is no better place to be, surrounded each day by God's love and goodness. God's faithfulness, his mercy, and his love towards his people makes it possible for us to live in his presence and to be on the right path. It's not simply that they have followed him, but that God has carefully led them. The images of God as a shepherd and a host here in the Old Testament are clearly true of Jesus in the New Testament. Jesus is the good shepherd who gave his life for his sheep. Go read it in John 10, verse 11. And those who trust in Jesus will also be welcomed at his wedding feast in heaven. Go read that in Matthew 22, verse 1 to 10. I thought that as you, as mums and dads, prepared and got yourselves ready for your children for Sunday, it might be helpful for you to reflect on your own life with regards to Psalm 23. Why don't you think back on your life, both the good and the difficult times? Where can you see God's care, provision, and protection for you? Why can we be calm and confident in the face of dark situations? Why don't you think through what makes it possible for David to live in the presence of God? Who has made this possible for us? And then lastly, why don't you thank God for his provision for you throughout your life? Ask God to help you to trust his provision and guidance in all situations, even right now. I really hope that you as a family will have a wonderful time on Sunday as you unpack Psalm 23. It's a simple psalm, but what a great encouragement for us to be able to read this psalm and to understand it at this time and this season of our lives.